Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to Bets and Buds. We're the Buds help you cash your bets. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in the middle of March Madness. We've got the Cardinals going to opening day. Blues are on their playoff push, and they're coming on strong in that last wild card position. Big win last night against the Blackhawks.
Big win.
You know, and then they got a big game tonight against the Predators.
Yes, they do.
Big game tonight against the Predators. I think that's a nationally televised game, too, isn't it?
Yesterday was, I know that.
Oh, it was yesterday? Yeah, I thought this one was on ESPN, too, tonight.
It
could be possibly. Could be possibly.
I mean, the Blues are an exciting team right now.
Right now, yeah, they definitely are. Even doing that without Colton Parayko. So that's very exciting. So let's start off with a little Blues hockey, Bob, because I know
right.
kind of down up for
talking
us.
About the Blues, in their last 12 games, they are 9-2-1. Nice. I mean, they are just rolling.
And that was the run you said they had to go on.
They had to go on that run. They've got 11 games remaining. They're sitting up 2 points on the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks right now.
I think 4 points on Utah, too, right?
Yep. All those teams actually have games in hand. But as long as the Blues keep winning, that's the only thing you can control.
They're in control right now.
They are actually, the whole team is just on fire. I was looking at some stats. Kyrou in the last 5 games, 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points. Holloway, 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points. Thomas has scored twice, Shin twice.
Beautiful goal by
times.
Thomas last night, too.
I mean, even the fourth line's getting involved. Toropchenko over the last 5 games has got 4 points with a goal and 3 assists, and Walker with a goal and assist last night as well.
Nice.
Hofer back up. I mean, he's just playing lights out right now.
Yeah, I mean, they look
His
good.
save percentage and goals against average is better than Bennington's right now. Half the games, I get it, but he's just playing really well for a backup goalie. So that leaves the Blues sitting in the A spot right now. Looking at their championship odds, plus 15,000 still. So I mean,
yeah, that's some juice right there.
That
man.
is some juice right there. I mean, they're a long shot for sure, but the way they've been playing, anything can happen. We've
Especially
already
in hockey
seen it once before. To win the conference, they're plus 5,000. So
nice.
They have more faith in them winning the conference than winning the cup.
Well, you know what? Anything can happen. Once you
it
get into
can.
hockey,
I mean,
hockey's the one playoff that it's a wide open, totally
they're
different season.
load managing Bennington right now. They're pretty much going Bennington-Hofer down the stretch. We'll probably see Bennington today, and then they play the Canadians after they play the Predators, and then they come back against the Predators again.
Okay, yeah. So we'll see.
And then you'll be down to 8 games left in the stretch run, and we'll see where they stand next week.
Right. All right, so we got Cardinals opening day this week coming up here,
we
too.
We do. Couple of days away.
Yeah, this Thursday.
I
Thursday.
believe they're breaking camp today.
Yeah. I think we'll get the finalized roster, see who all made it. I think there was a young player he made the roster.
Really?
He had a call with his mom. It was pretty cool. Little piece he had on SportsCenter this morning.
Nice.
He's like, we made it, Mom. We made it. Because any parent that knows when you committed to your kid in sports, all those driving to practice, long hours, training sessions, all that stuff like that, and they have them see them make that dream come true. Yeah, that's a lot of sacrifice, and to see them make that dream come true is pretty cool. So let's see what young players. Looks like Victor Scott's going to be on the roster for the Cardinals.
Victor Scott's going to make it.
He's had a great spring.
They were talking about doing a 6-man rotation starting out the season, so
that's
maybe,
one part that makes me nervous.
McGreevy probably gets some starts in there.
Yeah.
Really, this team, it just depends on how pitching's going to go, and if the young hitters can.
What step does Mason Wynn take going up this year?
Does he sophomore slump, or does he take that next step?
Does he take the next step? Do we actually see Jordan Walker get to his potential? Do they get him out of that 7th, 8th hole, or slide him up in the lineup?
Can Burleson become Kyle Schwarber Jr.?
Right, exactly, right. Exactly. See how Wilson Contreras adjusts to being a full-time first baseman. If we get that bat, get that full bat down, because I mean that's what he's always been in the big leagues for, is his bat more than his defensive catching. So
even though he was not,
he wasn't
been terrible behind.
He wasn't
bad
as
behind the plate as everybody.
But he wasn't aging well behind the plate. You can see the last couple of years, it's kind of taking
injuries.
It's kind of taking a toll on his body, because the catcher that's probably the most physically demanding position in baseball.
It is tough. Well, there is one note. Sonny Gray has been just getting rocked every start. So, I mean, be on the lookout for that.
Also, watch out for Ryan Helsley, too. It looked like he's kind of lost a little velocity this season. So
it's possible.
And a lot of times when it happens, it usually leads to Tommy John. That dreaded Tommy John.
Dreaded Tommy John surgery. And then, because you didn't trade him, you'll get nothing for him.
Right, exactly. Exactly. All right, so I mean, we'll see what happens. Everybody's always excited. It's like a big holiday. March 27th, we got the Cardinals kicking off their season. And then we're in the March Madness time now. March Madness time. Not really a whole lot of activity, right? I mean, as far as like the Cinderella stories this year. I mean, we really don't have any. I think our lowest seed is Arkansas. At the 10th seed, I think is like.
Well, no, we got Colorado State playing today at the 12th seed, but they're going up against 4 seed Maryland. I mean, that would be the highest rated seed left.
And what they call them the Crab Five. Crab Five. Maryland's been tough, man. I mean, we'll see if they make it through. But I mean, we really haven't had any big major upsets. It's kind of been, I mean, like, because even with Arkansas beating St. John's, I mean, really, it was Rick Pitino versus Calipari.
Tough. I mean, that tough SEC schedule.
Yeah, I mean, they started out 0-5, fought their way in. They're in the Sweet 16. So, I mean, they've got about half the teams that have kind of advanced in the Sweet 16, as far as the SEC, getting that 14 teams in.
Yeah, I picked St. John's in that one, so I was wrong on that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough matchup, and it kind of came to fruition what Rick Pitino said. I mean, they can't shoot.
Right.
They couldn't shoot. Like, their best player ended up getting benched. He was only 3 for 17, 0 for 3 from threes. So, I mean, that was a tough battle. I mean, and Arkansas just basically was able to hold on and pull it off. They went back and forth. They had St. John's killed them on the boards. They just couldn't make any shots.
Right.
They just could not make any shots. So, I mean, we'll see. My pick still is Florida to take it all.
I have Florida picked as well. They are sitting right now at plus 320. Duke's actually the favorite at plus 270.
And they play UConn today, so that'll be an interesting game. That should be a really good game.
I have all my Final Four teams left: Michigan State, Tennessee, Florida, and Duke right now. That Tom Izzo squad, I don't know.
Yeah, Izzo does it, man.
They're just steady.
And Jason Richardson Jr., man. I mean, he been playing with the same coach as his pops did. I mean, the kid's a baller. He can fill up the bucket.
They go up against New Mexico, who's a 10 seed. So they would, if Colorado was to go down and New Mexico somehow pulled that one off, they'd be the highest seed with Arkansas at a 10.
Okay. Yeah,
and you've got a really exciting matchup today: Illinois versus Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean that'll be a good matchup because Illinois can score the basketball.
Yes,
Illinois can definitely score the basketball, so that'll be an exciting game. So we got exciting action on Sunday here. March Madness continues as we roll along here. Going into the wrapping up this college basketball season.
Yep. So you think Florida's going to do it all?
I think Florida, just got in the words of Seth Greenberg, I watched the game the other night. They have 2 of everything. They got 2 scorers, 2 big men, 2 ball handlers. Everything that you need to win a basketball game. So if they get in foul trouble, they got somebody to come in to replace the guy who's the guy. That's what you need in March Madness. You
definitely got to have depth.
Because there's been so many good teams that have lost because they got into foul trouble early with one of their star players and they didn't have anybody to step up and fill that role. And Florida, like I said, they've got 2 of everything. They got everything that you need on the basketball team. So.
Our Mizzou Tigers actually lost to Drake, which we said they would. We knew they would. That matchup was a bad matchup for them. And
then Drake lost yesterday.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, Drake lost yesterday. So. Again...
Got worked over, actually, by Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech worked them over really good. So, we'll see. Mizzou's always at the program. They've never been to the Final Four. So that's why when people had high hopes for them, I just don't see it happening because, I've never seen it happen my entire life.
There's just no program history there.
Yeah, there's no program history. So, their best chance was when they had Quinn Snyder, when they went to the Elite Eight.
The Elite Eight.
Yep. So... again, that's March Madness. That's college basketball. I said we really didn't have any, Cinderella stories like the Loyola Chicago, and any of those teams like that. Everybody's pretty much got McNeese. Looked like they were going to be promising for a minute, but they got bounced yesterday. So,
So when did they just become McNeese? What was it?
I think they're still McNeese State. I think it's still McNeese State. Yeah, I think it's still McNeese State. Yeah, because my team in college, my freshman year, we actually lost to them in the playoffs in football. Yeah, horrible interception, pick 6 to the house and they beat us. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I wanted to say one more thing about the Cardinals before we get off the baseball. Right now, they are sitting plus 12,000 to win the championship. It's the 7th worst in baseball. So the Cardinals, there's no expectations right now.
No, which sometimes that's a good thing coming into, you got a young team with no expectations. Sometimes that's a good thing. So they're getting a hot start. You never know what happens from there. I'm just worried about the pitching more than anything else. And that monster Dodger train. The Dodgers are going to be so
they bashed on the Cubs over in the Tokyo
Oh my gosh,
series,
Shohei, man. Their pitching staff is loaded. They're going to be tough. The Dodgers are going to be absolutely tough to beat. And then again, you got the Phillies are going to be tough again. The Mets let's see how they do with Juan Soto in the lineup now as well. So with that big $780 million, gazillion dollar contract that he got, so that's going to be it's going to be tough sledding. Tough sledding, but at least we can. Hopefully, you just beat the Cubs and the Pirates. And the
yes,
Reds.
yes, and the Reds.
Yeah, and the Reds.
And the Reds.
So, yeah.
Any football news?
Well, we're pretty much the biggest thing right now with free agency being all wrapped up. We're approaching the draft coverage here. We'll see what's going on. A lot of the pro days are happening right now. But the biggest thing is the watch for Aaron Rodgers. Is he going to go to the Steelers? I mean, and it looks like it's getting close.
That's the only place he can go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only place. I mean, because you don't want to go to the Giants. I mean, that's not going to be a winning prospect for him. I mean, the Steelers is pretty much his last chance to finish his legacy off the way he would like to, because they got a strong enough defense. They got DK Metcalf there now, George Pickens. Now they got to solve the running back situation, but it's a very running back deep draft, so they can very easily solidify that position in the draft. But the biggest thing is, let's see where Aaron Rodgers goes.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
Higgins getting wrapped up by the Bengals, like
that. And, speaking of, I'm glad you brought that up, Bobby. So did you see a deep dive into that contract?
No.
There is no guaranteed money in that contract.
Really?
That was a deal strictly made. Yes, they can release him at the end of the season, and I think he gets like 20-some, or maybe 30-some odd million this season. But then, like, if they decide to release him, there's no money owed. So he really got no guaranteed money in that contract whatsoever. From a year-to-year basis, they basically can opt out of that contract anytime they want to.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably one of the worst deals I've ever seen signed. I mean, it showed that how bad he wanted to stay in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I mean, he wanted to stay with Cincinnati with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, which I can't blame him because, I mean, you got a quarterback that's playing like that. The thing is just hopefully he doesn't get any injury because that's what you want the guaranteed money for.
What were they saying the percentage was of the cap? Like 43 or 47% of the cap?
Man. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, but the thing is, like I said, like they can get out of that T. Higgins contract at any given time. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's probably one of the worst deals that's been signed that I've ever seen, man. Because I mean, because the whole thing with the NFL, I mean, the reason why they don't have guaranteed contracts like that, like all the other sports, because the injury factor is so high.
Yeah, I mean,
it is
one
so
play
much,
and you're done.
Yeah, it's so much higher than any other sport. But so that's the thing. He really didn't. He didn't give himself the security that most players are looking for. From the injury standpoint.
But if he stays healthy, he's going to make his money.
If he stays healthy, he's going to make his money. But the thing is, like I said, they could still, even if they decide they want to get out of it next year, like they can back out of the contract easily. Because, I mean, it's a year-to-year opt-out at each one, which I don't know who the hell his agent is, but he should. I mean, either that was a T. Higgins call or his agent, because like
it just says get it done.
I've heard many players that have commented on his contract said my agent would have never let me sign this deal. No. Never let me sign this deal. So I mean, because he had a chance to be, get number one money. I mean, he could have gone out there and got $35 million.
Oh yeah, easily.
Number one. But again, like I said, he wanted to stay with Joe Burrow, which I understand.
But I could see that being the Ron Harper effect right there.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, he is a good receiver. There's no denying that.
Right.
But is he good because of the fact chases on that other side?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Oh, you talking about Alvin Harper?
Yeah, Alvin Harper. That's what Alvin, not Ron Harper.
I was like, we talking about the Bulls? But yeah. I mean, I see that. I mean, but Alvin Harper was a total one-trick pony. T. Higgins has a lot more of it to his skill set.
He does. He's definitely a better route runner.
Because Alvin Harper was literally like a fade post guy. That was pretty much it. That was what was his bag. It
got him paid.
Yeah, it got him paid. He went down to the Bucks and never heard from him again.
Yeah, never heard from him again.
Yes, I mean, that's pretty much it with football news. We'll get a little as we get closer to the draft.
33 days until the draft.
Yeah, 33 days until the draft. Out. So I'm going to get through these pro days. It looks like right now the Titans are leaning towards Cam Ward being the number one pick. But you're going to hear a lot of bullshit back and forth for a while there. Hopefully, for Shedeur Sanders' sake, he doesn't end up with the Browns. But I mean, I think he called himself going to the Giants, so I think that's probably going to be his likely landing spot there.
So, do you think that if Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers, do you think Russell Wilson ends up with the Giants?
I'd see that. I think that's where he ends up going because I mean, right now they only got Tommy DeVito and Jameis Winston.
Right.
Jameis Winston signed there this week. So
I did not.
Yeah, Jameis Winston signed there a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So,
but maybe Wilson goes to the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I mean, I don't see that working really as well. But I mean, if anything, I see where he ends up is probably the New York Giants. I mean, that's I don't think Mr. Sierra was going to allow. She's not going to allow him to go down to Cleveland. I don't think.
That would be something if he signed with the Browns and then beat the Steelers twice.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, Cleveland is what Cleveland does. So I mean, I just don't see much high hopes for that either way it goes. I mean, that Deshaun Watson thing, I saw they showed a workout video of him. He's training in his boot, trying to say he's still coming back. And he's promising, holding out hope. I mean, we won't see him at all next year.
I don't know. So, at this point, man, just take your money and go.
Yeah, but I mean, like, do you want to tuck your tail in shame? Or do you want to try and come back and because these guys are still like people don't understand. Like professional athletes, for the most part, are the most highly competitive individuals. But most people say they're competitive and don't like to lose, but guys that make it in pro sports, I mean, they really hate to lose. And we're damn near, because in order to get there, they have to damn near kill you in order to like get to those leagues, because it's such a small percentage. There's so many good players. All-State, All-American, everything else that you never hear from. Never sniff the pros, at all. I mean, so like in order to make it to that height, you have to have the hunger and the drive. So surely there's something within him that still says, you know what? I want to prove everybody wrong. I want to prove all the doubters that said, you know what? I'm washed. I can't do it. It was the worst, free agent pickup of all time. Like,
and I mean, as long as he's rehabbing, he's getting massages. So.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think guys going to have to start doing something like, signing some type of consent clause or something with massage, because now you got me Justin Tucker he's going through his shit right now with the massage parlors. It's like, come on, guys, man, just hire the girls to do that shit for real. Don't try to get the rub and tugs. I'm trying to get the rub and tugs from the girls working in the legitimate places like Massage Lux and shit like that. You got to go to the Asian parlors if you.
Yeah, you got to go to the Robert Kraft approved.
Right, and even then, he got busted on his shit on the bus. All right, so that's all we got this week, man. Because we're going to say going through March Madness. Enjoy the rest of the tournament here. Opening day will be a beautiful day, hopefully out there weather-wise. We get a good day with the stroll downtown St. Louis. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what we're cheering on right now.
I mean, that's the main thing locally we're cheering on right now is let's go Blues.
We haven't been in the playoffs in 2 years, so I'm ready for some playoff hockey.
Yeah. It's nothing like playoff hockey, man. I tell you, that's probably the best playoffs in all of sports.
It is.
By far. I think by far, intensity-wise, everything else, I think by far is the best playoffs in sports. All right, so we will see you guys next week. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Peace.